I review a lot of headphones at prices sometimes measured in multiple thousands of dollars. These are regularly impressive in terms of sound quality, something I can't often say about headphones at 1/10 the price. So I was surprised and pleased to check out the musically accomplished Edifier Stax Spirit S3 headphones. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, music lovers and audiophiles. Today we'll be reviewing the Edifier Stax Spirit S3 headphones. I hope you enjoy it. Edifier bought the renowned headphone manufacturer Stax in 2011. Stax makes and has made electrostatic headphones, and I will say that their SR009, together with the Headamp Blue Hawaii amplifier, has been on my list of top headphones for a long time. Very expensive, but they do things other headphones can't quite match. With this in mind, I approached the Edifier Stax Spirit headphones, which retail for $399, hopefully, but carefully. I say carefully in an amplified sense that it's true for all reviews. The reviewer has to let the product be what it is, not impose some artificial concept on it. An analogy may help. If Mazda were to announce a new Miata, but instead called it the Mazda Ferrari Spirit MX-5, it would set expectations that, if taken seriously, the car couldn't meet. That might seem obvious, but the problem is that the Miata is a superb car on its own terms, in some ways more gratifying than a Ferrari. But to see this, you have to review it as a Miata, not as a weak version of a Ferrari. So, with that in mind, no more mentions of Stax headphones at 20 times the price of the S3s. The Edifier S3s are planar magnetic headphones, leveraging Edifier's investment in Audeze. The SR3s can be used in wireless Bluetooth mode or connected to a headphone amp via a supplied cable. Unlike many Bluetooth headphones, they do not have active noise cancellation. They are closed back, and the ear cups provide some sealing, so isolation is okay, but nothing like what ANC can do for a noisy environment. They also do not have a folding design, so they're slightly less compact when traveling. This would seem to be a design for home and office more than airplanes and brewpubs. Your call, of course, because you may feel strongly that Bluetooth, often required for ANC, does some serious damage to music. At least Bluetooth on the S3s is aptX HD capable, but for this, you'll need the right phone or DAP. The S3s ship with two sets of ear cups, one of a leather-like material and the other covered with a soft fabric. Both were comfortable, and the headphones are lighter than some, which helps with long listening sessions. Okay, let's get down to sound quality, which is really what we're here for. The sound quality of the S3s is impressive at this price point. Many headphones in the $300 to $400 range frankly sound either messy or dull, or sometimes both. The S3s sound a lot more like music. What do I mean? First, the S3s are relatively wideband headphones with good response from about 50 Hz, which is the mid-bass, to about 10 kHz, the upper treble. Many open back headphones roll off below about 100 Hz or sometimes even a little bit higher, which reduces the rhythm and the drive of many kinds of music. The S3s have relatively smooth octave-to-octave balance. This means that individual instruments and voices sound more natural because their fundamental tones and their harmonics aren't out of balance. Then, the S3s do a good job of dealing with the required Harman curve in the upper mid-range and low treble. Tracking this curve is required to get voices and high-pitched instruments right, and most lower-price headphones struggle with this. This is also the range where D to A converter distortion can get nasty, and you don't want your headphones to make things worse. The S3s sound open and vivid, giving music appropriate dynamics and detail. As a point of contrast, the Sennheiser HD650 is relatively smooth in frequency response terms, but if you know the sound of real music, you may not escape the sense that the 650s sound a bit dead. If you do mainly background listening, this might be a virtue, but if you like to listen with any sense of involvement, it is an HD650 vice. The S3s don't have it. Now, the S3s are not perfect. To round this out, I noticed that the lower mid-range is a bit depressed relative to the rest of the mid-range, and this at times can make the sound just slightly thin. In addition, the S3 has solid bass on most music, but it does roll off the low bass, and this is not the ideal headphone for EDM or hip-hop. But note, the S3s are better in the bass than 80% of headphones in this price range, so shop carefully. Finally, there's a small upper mid-range bump that makes some voices sound a tiny bit out of balance. Not quite crispy, but definitely flavored. Here's my perceived frequency response graph of the Stax Spirit S3s. I should mention that the S3 app allows you to choose 3 different sonic profiles: Classic, Hi-Fi, and Stax. Classic seemed appropriate for background listening and worked well in Bluetooth mode. Bluetooth by design has much lower resolution due to data rate restrictions of the standard, and Classic seemed to harmonize with those limitations. Hi-Fi mode has no useful purpose that I could connect with. It's just annoyingly bright. Stax mode drives right down the middle, and though slightly brighter than Classic mode, seemed more open and articulate on high-quality wired music. I've mentioned the Sennheisers as a point of comparison because they are well known and in a similar price range. Another popular model in this price bracket is the Sony WH-1000XM5, which has Bluetooth and ANC. If you need ANC, the following comments may be irrelevant, but if ANC is only an occasional thing for you, I think the S3s simply outperform the Sonys. The problems of instrumental flavoring and opaqueness with the WH-1000XM5s are rather big, and I'd recommend hearing the S3s if you can, before you fall prey to all the positive Sony reviews. All right, let's summarize. There are a lot of headphones under $500. I have not heard them all by any means, but our point of comparison is the sound of real music, and I can say by that metric, which I think is the metric you should use, the Edifier Stax Spirit S3s perform impressively. If you can handle the price, I would start shopping with these. They are that good, and they may spoil you for similar options. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please check in the description for a link to our weekly newsletters. They're free, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.